What conspiracy theories do you think are too logical to ignore? This one isn't as serious as most of the ones on here, but I enjoy it and have gotten into many a convo about it. In the 2017 NBA playoffs, a player named Markieff Morris, who at the time played for the Washington Wizards, hurt his ankle in Game 1. This was only 11 minutes into the game and he didn't return. The injury looked like he would be out for a couple weeks and no one expected him to play Game 2. But he showed up Game 2 and played as if he was never injured, in fact, had his best game statistically of the playoffs to that point. Here's where it gets interesting. Markieff Morris has an identical twin brother named Marcus who also plays in the NBA. His brother was playing for the Pistons, who were eliminated from the playoffs already. The theory is that Marcus played for his brother. Both brothers have the exact same tattoos and don't have any super apparent different traits. Here's the Ringer's breakdown on it. https://www.theringer.com/2017/5/3/160383288/2017-NBA-playoffs-markieff-morris-twins-conspiracy-corner-aya07A7499F8C. I mean, that has to be the reason they have matching tattoos in the first place, right? Wow, that's wild and very believable since they've admitted to doing this in the past. Denver Airport being a fallout shelter for the elite. The fact that it went like $1 billion over budget and all the symbolism. $1 billion, $3 billion. 1. Kennedy gets elected. 2. Kennedy is critical of the CIA, his own VP and military for wanting to turn the Cold War into a hot one and the willingness to perform false flag operations Project Northwoods to do it. 3. Kennedy is shot. 4. His VP takes power. 5. Classified. You missed out the most important part, he bangs Marilyn Monroe. Pretty sure I saw it here on Reddit at one point. But someone brought up the art trade. That these million-dollar art shows, individual pieces that go for insanely high prices, are just a way for money laundering. Tax write-off even. So a real estate friend of mine told me that if you made $1 million you should get a shitty painting done. Have a mate who happens to be an art critic or evaluator value the piece at $50,000, then donate that piece to charity stating its value. That allows you to claim a deductible of $50,000 towards your taxable income due to your charitable donation. Genius. So my dad actually confirmed a popular Reddit conspiracy theory. I told him about the laundry detergent caps have the full line too high on purpose, and he told me this was true. He interned at P&G, and they taught him the full line was for the highest level of cleanliness our product can give. You can get away with using much less detergent. David Miscavige, the chairman of the Church of Scientology, definitely murdered his wife and is getting off scot-free for it. Him and his wife got into a pretty heated argument in 2007, and she hasn't been seen since. Lawyers hired by David claim she is still alive and devotes 100% of her time to work at the Church of Scientology, which is why she hasn't been seen since August 2007. In 2013, a former member of the church had filed a missing person report that was closed after a few officers had spoken and seen Mrs. Miscavige, even though there's no evidence whatsoever of this meeting. All missing persons reports now are turned down since this investigation is forever closed. Leah Remini has had it investigated as well and written letters to Shelley with no response. Before Leah left the church, she wrote letters to Shelley that the church refused to deliver, and when she asked where Shelley was, she was told she didn't have clearance to ask that question. She is either dead or locked in a bunker. Amazed that I haven't seen Gary Webb mentioned. Exposed the CIA for assisting in drug trafficking and commit suicide with 2 bullets to the head. Worst case of suicide I've ever seen. Edit. As a few people have pointed out, the wounds were to the back of the head. No, they weren't. He shot himself from the front, one non-fatal, the other fatal. The whole conspiracy is pretty iffy. His initial exposé was very shaky when it came to his evidence and sources, and was criticized heavily by his peers. And he didn't kill himself a month afterwards, it was years later. Why would the CIA kill someone who wasn't especially relevant at the time of his death? And his wife had told people that he was depressed at the time, was unable to find a job, and that they had to sell their house because they were unable to afford the mortgage. This one is small and local but still too insane to ignore and just came up today. Just recently, our small suburban town's favorite gas station went out of business. Everyone went there, the guy who ran it was the mayor. He retires and sells the property after an issue with the ground underneath the gas pumps. They tear down the gas pumps and keep the garage. Mavis Tire bought the property and opened a new store. A few days after the Mavis opens, someone posts a picture on Facebook of an intersection at a road near it with nails all over the road. The guy the Roysies that a box of nails fell off of a construction truck. The police come clean it up and it seems all is well. Fast forward a few days later and people are commenting on the post that they're finding nails in their car tires. Not just from that intersection. People jokingly say, maybe it was the new Mavis guys throwing nails around, but nothing really happens. Several weeks later, people have been posting day in and day out pictures of nails in their car tires. My dad took my car into the Mavis in question about 3 weeks ago and they found a nail inside of the right front tire. I noticed that it was driving sort of funny but never that my tire was on the verge of exploding. I jokingly said, people have been saying you guys have just been going around throwing nails all over the place, trying not to laugh at how insane it sounded to say out loud. The guy behind the counter said nothing but, yeah, with a weird smirk. Over 50 people have posted on the town Facebook that their cars have had nails in their tires. My mom is driving my car now because her car has a nail in the tire. It's been almost 3 months. I'll post updates if anyone is interested. Edit. It totally might not be Mavis. There isn't any proof right now, and there are other possible reasons for the nails but the timing is too perfect to ignore. Edit 2. Apparently this is a huge deal in foreign countries. Edit 3. Holy shit, this blew up. PFFT, it's not even a joke, it's the truth, it sounds like. It makes no sense. Nails? Dude, if an investigation is launched and they find a bunch of nails inside of the shop, like boxed up and unopened, can't they lose business? Sounds more to me like that cashier heard that joke for the 20th time that day and was a bit too arse to really care about it. The Denver Airport Theory. I mean, the capstone of the building literally has the Freemason logo on it, there's some weird-ass apocalypse murals on the walls, the runways look like a swastika, and there's a 50-foot-tall horse statue with red glowing eyes. I mean seriously, who the fuck designed that place? Building the airport cost $3 billion more than expected and the labor was piecemealed out through countless contractors, so nobody who built it knows the full scope of it. Oh, and that 50-foot-tall horse statue with red glowing eyes killed its creator. Dia is a weird place. I have a buddy who did work at Dia, confirmed the whole underground thing goes way underground. He was let in an elevator with security and was escorted to a massive underground space, wasn't able to leave without security escorts, that whole thing. Plus Dia was one of the largest earth-moving projects, at least in Colorado. I'm sure there's a stat somewhere for that, and they moved way more ground than seemed necessary. DIA's been undergoing renovations lately, and the marketing pokes fun at the conspiracy theories. It's quite funny actually. Lucifer, the demon horse, did kill its creator, but he's still Denver's favorite red-eyed demon horse. U.S. intelligence conducting organized blackmail operations out of Epstein's Island. The prosecutor handling Epstein's old case was told to back off and go easy because Epstein was intelligence. Acosta's departure from the administration confirmed that this was not just a rumor. So as an American, I would really like to know exactly who was blackmailing who, how far it extended, and what political decisions were affected. Dr. Claw is Inspector Gadget. Edit. Dr. Claw is Human Inspector and Inspector Gadget is obviously a younger clone of him. Explain. Some torture devices such as the Iron Maiden were made up hundreds of years later so people would think, well, a regular hangin' ain't too bad then. This is literally true as far as the Iron Maiden. I'm pretty sure one of the Simon Whistler things talked about this like last week. Nutley NJ, where Martha Stewart was born, has a butcher shop every other corner. How much meat does one small blue-collar town need? Suspicious. This gives me Hot Fuzz vibes lol. You're saying Martha Stewart is an insatiable cannibal and has a private army of butchers quietly living amongst the sleepy townspeople and then they secretly off them and prepare them for her to feast upon. Let me introduce you to #WonkaPiercer, the theory that Oscar-winning director Bong Joon-ho made a sequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with his 2012 film Snowpiercer. They used the song Pure Imagination from Wonka in the trailer for the new Snowpiercer TV series. This theory is, in my mind, 100% true. The characters and plotlines just line up too well for it not to be. That bitch Debbie that used to work in accounting stole the succulent I had on my office desk. She always made comments about how much she loved it. Then she quit her job here. I come into work the next day and it's mysteriously nowhere to be found. Haven't seen it since. Came to the thread to say this one, so glad someone already did. With all the scientists in the world there has to be at least one secret lab on this planet where they have cloned a human. I mean, it's theoretically possible to clone a human being. The main setback is ethical concerns. Then again, when has that ever stopped some people? Trader Joe's makes their parking lots small intentionally to make it seem like it's more popular. Ah yes, as opposed to those Walmart parking lots that are 1/4 full. That karma on Reddit really does nothing. That's exactly the thing I hate about a Reddit. Karma makes being active on Reddit a competition. A competition with no reward. My dog did not go to Doggy Disneyland because he won a lifetime ticket for being a good boy. I think that he in fact died. Bull. Gimme a name and description. I work for Doggy Disney on the weekends, I'll check in on him. Our phones and/or the apps on them are listening to conversation. I'm super anti-conspiracy theory but this has happened to me way too many times in the last 2 years. I impulse shop really badly. I carry cash for the explicit purpose of I can use this guilt-free for an impulse purchase. 2 years ago I bought high-end lipstick with cash in a store after doing zero research on the brand. Next day I had ads for it despite never even previously hearing of that company before. I had only talked with a sales associate about the brand for a while. 6 months later a very similar thing happened when I switched hair care products to very specific brand. Later that night I had ads for their company which I had never heard of or looked up pre or post purchase. 8 months ago I ordered a cider I had never heard of at a bar in NYC, didn't research the company or anything about it. Not even 2 hours after I left the restaurant I had ads for that brand of cider on my Facebook. There's easily 5 to 7 more times I could think of, but these are the ones that bother me the most because I am positive the transactions were all in cash. I had never looked up the product before, and I had very targeted specific ads from those exact companies less than a day later on most of my social media. Edit to add. I know how location services work and that's how advertisers get a lot of data because of where you go and shop. But shopping at a huge store with hundreds of brands, Ulta, Sephora, Macy's, etc. What are the odds I got an ad for the exact products I bought? Like genuinely. They weren't on sale, weren't researched, the sales reps didn't help me find them. Same thing with the bar, they carry dozens of brands of booze and specialty beers and stuff. What are the collective odds I got a multiple specific ads for the exact brand of cider I ordered off of a menu of 50+ drinks? That's the weird part. If I had just gotten generalized targeted ads for those stores or random products in those stores, fine. Or if I had gotten ads for stuff I had bought before it researched a lot, also fine. But the odds of 3 ads for highly specific brands, items within a day of me buying those items from a large broad store in cash is just too much. Even the most advanced algorithm couldn't have predicted a spontaneous $100 Lorac MAC lipstick purchase, with the only data being, this person is in Ulta and has Googled Urban Decay eyeshadow before. Totally believe. Never did any research about martial arts or anything, but mention wanting to learn Krav Maga whilst grabbing coffee with a friend, and suddenly I get a ton of ads for Krav Maga and Jiu Jitsu courses.